So what if we want add colors to our site? Make we see how we fit add color to our web page. So I go like add color to some of these elements here. But first, before we do that, make we quickly comment this comment where we comment our CSS. So if you work with them. So make I just comment these comments from the top here. You two, you supposed to have. Come on, if you write for another line after the comments, but me, I could just comment that. And then we're going to say, all right, we want to add colors. So you already, when we do this one, you don't say we don't already they play with the colors. VS Code still gives us this. Whenever you need to the user colors, it will make sense, make you understand how you fit add colors for CSS and what you would need to do to add those colors. So you get the way with the right colors for CSS. The first way, now this one, way we don't already they see for here. We don't already the right purple, blue, if you spell the color. And if the browser get that color, it will give us that color. Okay, so let's say we want red, this text red now where they here. We go this text red, then go say hash FF, then go say 0000. Now, waiting I they do and why it show me red also, just like this red where they here. Well, that because this hash where they see here, I'm gonna make this bigger for you guys. All right, this red where they here is the same thing as red here. So waiting they happen. Well, you fit use the spelling here, where you go column red. You fit use hex codes, which now this one where you go column here. And then you fit use RGB, which now red, green, and blue. Now that red, green, and blue, it also has other options like alpha colors, which we go control the opacity or how the color go the fade or how it be. This is usually what controls the alpha. This one where they here, if you see them on my VS Code, that's actually what controls the alpha when it comes to that. So make I just quickly explain how I take note. Say this go be red even before I take note. Well, you see, whenever you write hex code, it gets the way you go write them. It will always be this two, that not the F, then it will be another two, which not the green, and then it will be another two, which not the blue. So the thing be say, if I say I want F, it means say I want the highest level of hex code, which now usually white or which is white. Okay, so as it be white for this one here, it go stay like that as F. But I can't say for this blue I want 00, which go be black, and I want another 0, which go be black. So because I do them like this, the colors go can't change to this red. If I say I want this FF to be, let's say 00, and then I change it to 00, you go see say the color now it don't change to color black. If I say I want to make it be green, I go change this middle 00 to FF, say FF, and go change to green. In fact, I go change to this green, which is even still different from this green. So if I say I want to make it be blue, of course, likewise, I go change it to 00, and I say make it be blue. So we go just, if you use lower FF also in our case, it will still work the same. You can mix it, you can do that. It doesn't really matter. Another thing where you gonna need to keep in mind be say if you want mix the colors, so if you get from 0 to 9, I believe, then if you say 9, if you change this one to 3, if you say this now 1, and if you get that same blue, and then from A to F, so let's say this should be D. So we can say okay, because it's not D and 13, 9, and FF, let's change that FF to FA or AF. Yeah, and you see it's a different tone it just gives us. So even though it gives us purple, this code, as we they type on here, as we they change them for here, it they do this thing, it they move it they change the color to the right tone where we want to use. So this is not the hex code. Always remember say this is not how you write the hex code or colors for that. So another way we even add colors. So I'm gonna change this text red, and then let's say we want to add the RGB. So you can change the color to RGB. So let's say RGB. And whenever you do RGB, you see say I get this error for VS Code. This is not syntax error. So that syntax error means say I don't need the hash. So whenever you do RGB, always remember say you don't need hash. But now for inside this RGB, you remember that parenthesis why it always call since now in this now we go add the parentheses for here. Now as we add the parentheses here, we will change the colors of what we want to change. So we can say okay, this is our text red, we want the colors from 0, and then we want to write comma and 0 and comma and 0. So this will give us black. But if we say we want make this color be red, we could change this first 0, which supposed to be black, we could change them to 255. So we say 255, and now that 255 now red. So how I take note? Well, if I could just duplicate this code for you, So what I dey do for here be say this FF that you're looking at here is the same thing as saying 255. And this is 00 you're saying here is the same thing as saying just the zeros. So that's saying red should be 255, the highest number of red, and green, that is the second item here, it should be inside the parentheses. The second argument inside the parentheses should be green, and then the last item inside this parenthesis should be blue. So just like we have that two black here, and then we have this two other black here for blue, that's why we have that color. So if we say we want to change this number to 152, that would change to purple for us. So always remember, whenever I see the RGB, and this is what you're seeing, red, green, blue, and for the hex code, what you're seeing is red for the first part, and the second part you're seeing blue, green, you're seeing green for the second part, and then you're seeing blue for the last two digits for the hex code. So from now on, we're going to try to use hex codes so that we're going to use to write this hash wherever we can. And as time goes on, you may progress, or if you progress to using RGBAs and all those things. But for now, that's all we need to learn about colors in CSS. I will see you now for the next video. Thank you.